my name is Jillian Underwood. I'm an emotional and mental health coach. Today we're talking about 3 tips to help you when emotions overwhelm. Sometimes we can feel heightened anger or fear or sadness, and it can feel like it's just going to take us under, and it can be scary. It's important that we don't deny those feelings. Sometimes we need to express them, not shove them all aside. But that fear that we have is that it's going to just completely consume us, that we're not going to be able to escape it. We may not even have these like specific thoughts, but there's something going on inside of us that may keep us from experiencing those emotions or just being terrified when they happen. So I wanted to give you some tips that will help you calm the emotional overwhelm. The first one is something that Dan Siegel talks about. He is, I should have looked this up, but I think he's a neuroscientist. He does a lot of studies with the way that the brain physiologically reacts to emotions and how we can calm our bodies down, those types of things. So one of the terms that he uses is name it to tame it. When we recognize, oh my gosh, there's this intense emotion coming over me, just say the emotion out loud. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling really sad. Those terms do not define who you are. They are giving voice to what's happening within you. And there's something that happens in our brains that helps to bring that heightened level. It can feel like an 11 out of a 10 and bring it down to a 9 or an 8 so that we can deal with the next steps of life, whatever that is. So name it to tame it doesn't fix it all, but it is something that where there's a physiological response in our brain that actually, he puts it as like the brain putting a chemical that kind of goes down and brings some calming to the other areas of our brain that is hypersensitive and hyper alert or reactive to an emotional stimulus of some kind. So name it to tame it. What is the feeling that you have? Just say it out loud. I'm feeling fear. I feel fear, whatever it is. The second one is kind of getting curious and noticing your thoughts and kind of what's happening with your body. So you name it to tame it. I'm feeling anxious. Okay, why am I feeling anxious? Where am I feeling anxiousness in my body? What's just kind of starting to get out of the intense emotional part, but kind of examine it, look at it, consider it, maybe even see what it looks like outside of you. Okay, this is my body. I'm tight here. And I'm fearful because this just happened. They think this is going to happen. What are the thoughts that I have around this? So get curious. Name it to tame it, and get curious is the second one. The third one is kind of 2 steps, but I put it together as one. Take a cleansing breath and move on to another activity. So if you are getting extra angry or fearful or anxious on a specific task that doesn't have to be done in that moment, how can you just do something that's different? It may be a short-term distraction, like even just getting up and walking. Sometimes that's what I'll do. If I feel intense, I will get up, I might walk around in the front yard or go in the backyard, get a little different perspective and go somewhere else and engage in a different activity. Or I have an option. I don't have to do this specific one right now. I could do this other activity. That could happen even at work sometimes, at least for some people. There's maybe an opportunity to do something different that allows your brain to calm down a little bit further so that you have more of a better capacity to handle the other things that you need to handle. So emotional overwhelm, name it to tame it. Engage your curiosity. Notice what's happening. Notice your thoughts. Notice what's going on in your body. And 3, breathe in and deep. Engage in a new activity. I put those together because I feel like that breath helps us pivot into the new activity. I hope those tips are helpful for you when you experience emotional overwhelm. Even if you're not right now, it's a great idea to go ahead and practice them in order so that you start building that repertoire inside of you so that you're actually able to remember those steps when it's hard to remember because your brain is in a reactive state. So one of the things that I suggest is that people practice some of those things in advance so that you have something simple to hold on to. Name it, curious, new activity. That would keep it super simple. I hope that's helpful, friends. Take care.